Hey guys, Andy's here. Today, I wanted to make a video about a decently interesting subject in my opinion, which is UCS or charting creation. I have been creating charts for a pretty damn long time now. I would say like over 3 years or so at this point. And so I kind of got. Did my Wi-Fi already disconnect? I fucking hate our university's Wi-Fi. I wanted to kind of well, I've been charting for a while, and essentially I know I was like asking Jake, like I know he like had some like UCSs I wanted to play, and I was like, hey, is it going to be in your pack later on? He said, oh no, I'm gonna probably put in like some like US like pack collaboration thing, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Like, can I collaborate? And he was like, sure. Just send me like some of your best chart samples, and that got me really thinking. For like how long I've been charting for, like what type of charts I'm able to provide, and like the quality of it like matching standards, right? So I guess a decent example that I want to do today is kind of for example, obviously this is a different game, it's Osu, but in a sense it kind of got inspired where it's like, what are some of my most memorable maps, or like kind of like what is like my charting resume, right? So that's where we're pretty much at today, where I was thinking to myself, what do I want to showcase when it comes to charting, and just how much I've improved or something like that, right? Because what's it called? I don't want to edit this video. I also want to know how to cut. Wait 1 second. All right, yeah. So I'm trying to update my pack at the end of the summer, and so I've been charting for a while now, and so yeah, I've been kind of going back and realizing like even like stuff that I made like a year ago hasn't really aged particularly how I wanted it to, mainly because I didn't have core concepts like kind of like grounded within me. I would have a general intuition, but never like full on like it's hard to explain like what makes the chart organized, and I'll definitely make videos about it in the future about talking about it. It's just like, what's it called? It's like 2:20 ppm. I woke up like an hour ago, so it's like I can't really think straightly on top of my head, but yeah, I'm again, that pretty much made me want to pretty much kind of go back, and pretty much what I have here is, I would say these are some of my best charts. Most of these are recent bias too, of course, and I didn't send all of these to Jay, but I sent them to them, and they provided me some mods or comments, so I thought it would be an interesting idea to why not just go with them together, and see things I agree upon, things I don't agree, and or so make some changes on the fly, so we can just look at the AV editor together. I'm going to be sending this to him before I publish this, so if there's anything I missed out, it'll probably be in the comments. But let's just go. I'm not going to leak anything, of course, but some of the, well, this is like the first chart he commented, and then there's more bottom comments. This is obviously the first chart I sent, so it's like obviously a little bit harder. I might again have song bias because I really like this cover. What's it called? All right, I actually read back on the notes, and for me, the main consensus was, so I pretty much made this chart to be kind of like a skill zone emphasis. You have general run patterns. These two measures are straightforward runs. These ones teach you anchors. They are mirrored. General, this is anchoring, more anchoring, types of anchoring. This is like focusing on the drum snare and just more variation, which is again, I think the whole idea, at least of this chart, is to just kind of teach you the basics, nothing going too crazy, and it was supposed to be minimalistic intentionally. The problem is, what's it called? This song is very long of itself. I actually made the MP3 edits, but Jay told me that this part could use a cut. It is a pretty long part, so I do agree with that. So that is one thing I will keep note of, that I'm gonna actually edit the MP3, because I do need to make more more charts for this. So that I do agree with that for sure. This is how do I describe it? I also think like a lot of like charts I get inspired by are, I don't know. I had like a tendency of this like time to make more like skill zone charts emphasis. Like I love this is like the Tenseman S7 pattern. Like I think my charting is really inspired by that sometimes. This is general runs. So he had a problem with as well as here. So this is the shuffle pattern. Not shuffle pattern, twist pattern. And a crossovers, whatever they're called, right? And the problem I think that was mentioned that I'm reading is that again there's no cohesion or theming. Do this pattern, then this one, without them having really glued together. I'd love to have the crossover from the first drop be expanded upon. So how do I describe it? I think it's really unique because the thing about UCS is that they're not official, and so they don't technically follow any official guidelines per se, and I think a lot of it can be down to personal taste. Now, that being said, obviously the way of we can make UCSs feel more professional / official is definitely something that is differentiates what's like a UCS feeling chart versus official, because like they can be fun, but you can tell they're not very polished or missing ideas. I think with this chart, I didn't really have that in mind, and I don't think that's also a bad thing of itself. But that also does make it feel like, again, parts are connected piece by piece, but you know, I just wanted to just kind of mention that. Here's the thing as well. I really hate S9s. Like, I fucking hate this folder. Worst folder besides like S19s. So I wanted to just make it fun as possible by just having these. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It was just like fun by UCS feeling. This is mirrored pretty much. I don't know if I did this, but am I showing my mouse cursor, by the way? I am. Okay, just want to make sure. So this is something I kind of disagree with. I'm not gonna technically go over this. I probably should, but I'm gonna go over the general issues. Again, I think another thing what he meant by kind of connecting parts by parts is the verses I have in this don't necessarily follow the vocal. It's just a generic stream, right? If I wanted to make a traditional like S9 through 12, I 100% agree with that by making twists, but this chart is a little bit different in that case, where I wanted to just make it I don't know, just normal runs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pump it up is fine with that, I think. You know, you can make charts that just follow like a flow state / run states, and you can kind of get away with it without really following the instrumental, I mean, with the vocals, for example, here. So you could hear da 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 da. You can have like a twist, because I think that's what he meant by having parts glued together. By having the twist being introduced here, then it's like, ah, yes, this part makes a lot more sense versus like, okay, I have a run section, and it's like, oh, why are you suddenly sending me crossovers? But my idea was, I wasn't trying to make a generic S9. I was trying to make it a fun chart, if that makes any sense. You should think of the player when you make a chart, but I kind of make it for myself too. I don't know how to really describe it. And I thought it was interesting. What's it called? I'm gonna pause real quick. Okay, I was reading some other notes. And some things that were kind of interesting, and I also like this could also just represent like a lot of things in charting. For example, I do agree where it's like awkward jacking between. Okay, so let me explain. I do. Looking back, I will change it so this is more like red to blue rather than like right to left, as well as I want to mention 119. Sorry, where is it? The jack hold, because he was talking about how pump holds work. Because technically this is just two issues he was mentioning, like creativity with like how there's a lack of variation here, which I don't think you necessarily need to worry about every time, because this is like a level 9. I don't think most like new players will necessarily care about that. And also, this is something I want to talk about with like emphasis with jacks, and also something I like doing with like my type of charting. It's kind of like a habit I built up. But I understand what he means by like pump holds and how it can be awkward. I should have left a piece of paper next to me about making some of these changes as I went, but hopefully I will remember as I go back. The main two things I need to do is obviously MP3 edits and changing this part to be more up down rather than right left, in my opinion, because I do agree with that. Is that really? Oh yeah, and then the final part I wanted to kind of showcase. So you have the crossovers here, right? And you can see in the beginning parts, I taught you how to do anchors. So what is anchors plus twists? Anchor crossovers. So that is why at the second verse, I introduced left, right, or where you're like technically doing a twist to the right side. That's the bubble one side. And then you're doing an anchor to this side. So his criticism here was, I'm gonna pause real quick. Okay, I think that's what's being mentioned is that. So, when you want to introduce a concept when you're charting, let's say like low-key S21, where you have like beginning foot switches, very tame, but then out the chorus there'll be full switches. That's something very important which you need to do with your charting. So, the idea here is that I actually did the opposite direction, where he's saying I should swap this part and this part, like A and B to, it should be AB to BA, if that makes any sense. I think another thing as well is these are also nitpick sections, and as well as this is just like a level 9. I'm not gonna take it too seriously. I think this is cool to like nevertheless look at. And also, core lesson if you're charting, do not over fix your chart if you are just learning how to chart, because I think it's very easy to get hung up on the details when you're still learning how to chart properly. So if I were to look back at this, I might change a few things, but if I feel like it removes what I wanted the intention of the chart to be or what I made it to be, I'm just going to leave it alone, despite its flaws, if that makes any sense, because that's just how I personally like charting. If it's considered inferior, then maybe it's just stuff I have to work on. Or the second option being just rechart from scratch, just make a new difficulty. And I actually have a really good example of that, as I've been charting for a pretty long time. I did that with where did I put it? Here. This I have well, if you ever play my charts and if you see Andy, that's like my very first packs, then Pundy, and now it's Hyun. And I went back because I'm like, the 20, like I had to like constantly redo it because I didn't know like what structurally made a 20 like a 20 despite playing them. But I still probably have that issue. But anyways, yeah, this was like my retake at like making a hard chart. So I think it's good when like just generally like charting things is like go back, challenge yourself, and try to like rechart something from scratch as well. If it's like unfixable where you just have to like toss it in the bin, I think is not a bad idea. I've been really talking a long time for this first chart, so I'm gonna move on. Alright, so this is very recent actually. I made a looping the rooms because I fucking love this song. Right over here, and I am planning on making one last difficulty at the top diff. I'm not sure like how I'm gonna make it yet, but the criticisms here were basically that twists should make sense and flow naturally. Yeah, that's keeping one chart all the same like style, as well as, and then this is part where he's talking about for my S11 you should have it like 86 style twists. So yeah, let's just go over them right now. So for example, if you look at this is the bridge, right, of the song. And the spins of the song make sense because, well, I don't have to fucking explain it. Even if you want to have spins in general, that's totally fine. But obviously the song is to go insane, like kudu, like to loop around, like in the back rooms. But anyways, that's why I have this here, right? I'll just show it in case if you don't know how the song goes. Here, let me just show you. Quarter notes. Ignore this. Eighth notes. Ba 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 ba. Ba da 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 ba da. And then you're doing the same thing. And the 15 is very similar to this, except it takes I guess a good example of this would be comparing like the Beethoven virus charts, like the S11 and I believe like some of like the more legacy. I don't know if it's the S16 or S17 where it focuses on 16th notes. 16th notes. And this is what you have here. The problem is Beethoven virus is a lot smaller BPM. I mean, slower in BPM. This is 162 BPM. So having this is pretty freaking hard for a 15. I definitely agree with that, which is probably why I was considering making this a 16. But at the time, I wasn't planning on making an upper difficulty, so if I make a top diff, what I will probably do is simplify this to just make it just the same spin for the 16. Or I might just double down and keep this idea. I don't know. I think, again, it's... Maybe I'm thinking too much of myself. I can hit this. I don't know if an S15 player can hit this. Probably not. It's way too fast. So maybe this would be like better like an 18 through 20 range for sure. And this is like a gallop motion feeling. You can hear it. What's great about this motion, it actually mirrors the S11 perfectly, which is really clean. I don't remember seeing the 11. I believe, okay, so that's the first criticism about how fucking hard that part is. And also, you know, I still want the S11 player to have fun, if that makes sense. I understand the organizational thought process of like, you know, having one fully spin oriented and one twist oriented, especially because at the S11 here, I kind of stopped that idea because, well, first of all, when I make charts, I go from the lower charts to upper charts, typically. Not always, but typically. So this is my first time making it, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna make a top diff, but this is where, you know, this part in the chorus here, I actually continue the spins. Here, I break that cycle and have crossovers instead. And this is kind of just my own freestyle of this is actually kind of similar to 86 style. I'm gonna show you what 86 style looks like. It's like you see this dancing bots? It's a red, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow. So you're just like constantly using your right foot to hit the yellow, and then having the left foot to like kind of anchor twist. It's a really cool pattern. 86 really fucking cooked with that concept. But anyways, here. You see? So, I gotta shut up. Mirrored. So, actually, fun fact enough, while my part may look kind of like that, it wasn't inspired by that. It was more just like, you know, just my general intuition, but as well as what's going on S7 pattern was kind of inspired by it. I think this part is similar to 86, honestly. I did this for variation, while the S15 fully doubles down on this concept. Also, looking back, I think, what's it called? Here. I added a gimmick here. It looks like this. You can hear the slight instrumental in the background with my headphones at least, where it kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. The problem with this decision is that and then it mirrors, so you have to go backwards. This is fine, but the problem is for like a 15/16, it's like, well, do you want these charts to be more sight readable, especially with Phoenix having the emphasis of scoring? It's like stuff like this is kind of frowned upon, but I think it's okay in a UCS context because you're not making anything that's technically supposed to be official / super sight readable. And also, when I've been playing recently like more hovery charts where they just rely heavily on gimmicks, I don't think it's a bad thing that if you have to replay a chart more than once to fully understand it. That might be a personal opinion of mine that might be not agreed upon, but I think, I don't know. So this goes on the opposite side. This requires studying. I think I'm gonna, to keep things more simple, I think looking back, I think I will just make the same direction, like the first chorus. Yeah. I personally, so I don't really understand what he means by twist needs to make sense, but if you're talking about my personal rhythm choice in the second verse, this is you're like leaning right side, left side, but then this is like a little bit alternated. It's like a broken stair style. And then here, it changes the rhythm completely by having these 16th like gallops. It's almost like 3 different rhythms. And then this is just full on 16th notes. Yeah. I don't know. I find it fun. So this is 8 notes. And then this is just 1/16 notes. I'm pretty sure he's talking about that. And if that's the issue, I totally agree. I don't know. Fucking ADHD. I don't know. I just can't contain myself and just, I don't know. But I don't know. I like it. I'm not gonna change it personally. I like these, again, kind of like double down. I know like this was like, oh, talking about gimmicks and sight readability. I know it's another whole thing that we can talk about, but I'm not going to here because I'm already at fucking 20 minutes. I've already talked about only 2 charts. And he talked about he didn't really like the break here. I think all of my charts have them. For beginner charts, stuff like this is good actually to have like a mental break for the player, and even like an upper chart you see it, right? I think it's for this song when you're like, I think it's fine personally. If I wanted to extend it, I would probably adjust the tick count to count on the beats of the vocal. But if I were to, I think if I do make a top diff, I will make this not a break, but have like a little, like it is gonna be a break obviously because you don't have much in the song happening, and obviously in the song it's also a break. But I'll have some like cold continuing. But when it comes to the 11, 15, I personally rather just keep them as they are right now. I think it's fine. Because in my opinion, I think the 11 and 15 are very similar with the spin concepts. Minus that the 15 uses 16th notes, and the 11 kind of stops the idea of the spins after the final chorus. I feel like I'm pulling like a fucking Konami move. Like I'm like, if I were to play that in real life, I just want like full spins, but I don't know. It just felt right at the time, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong, so I'm not gonna change it. All right, so that was that. Actually, it's good. He only talked about 2 more charts, so hopefully, because otherwise I'd be here for a fucking eternity just yapping. This is my first ever full song. Well, I've actually made other full songs, some of which were either I've only made 1 full song that was not very good, and I overall had to adjust over time. It was Rubik's Cube. I think it's okay. No, it's actually not, but it was like really old charting. But this was for the what's it called? Oh, hi, Vivid Stasis. Where is it? This is for a Pump United pack. I really like this song, by the way. So this was actually inspired by 86 full song S15. Not like charting wise, but just like difficulty, pace, and just kind of, I don't know. I don't think it ended up like that at all. But be wary of sequences that start on yellow, intentional double stepping. Yeah, I kind of have that problem with my charts. Do not use overuse gimmicks. Some sequences were genuinely unsight readable and ruined the mood for the player vibing, which honestly, how do I describe it? For something like this, I actually did really want the player to really feel like they're dancing and having a good time. But the reason I think how do I describe it? I 100% agree with playability and the gimmicks, but I still overall want to double down on them, unless if it's like if the mention, for example, no, this is fine. I guess I'll explain something real quick. So this first number here is the ratio of how much your screen is stretched out. So if it's 2, the notes are gonna come to you twice as fast. If it's smaller, it's gonna be all like cluttered. But if you do like stuff where it like lasts only like a 0.25 beats, then you can make some cool stutter effects. Yeah, and it's like a blink effect. But anyways, yeah, shout out to Zixio. He helped me with a lot of the warp slash gimmicks that I wanted to achieve. I mean, I kind of, how do I describe it? I think at a certain point, you can have gimmicks that are sight readable versus gimmicks that are not necessarily sight readable, but they are understandable once you study them. A great example would be something like this. This is Uma Steps. Would you consider this chart bad because you're not able to sight read this? This is purely based on the vocal. And my answer to that is no. I know Hovery really likes his gimmicks, and personally, I kind of grown on his style, and also just understanding the aspect that a chart is not bad just because you can't sight read it. Because a lot of things just require memorization based on like the type of thing. And you might argue for something like an S17 that maybe like it shouldn't have memorization required, but I mean, back in like XX where you had like, I don't know, like Love Scenario S17 and stuff like that, it's like stuff like that was like more standardized back then. So, and especially that it's UCS, you don't necessarily need to follow those conditions. But that being said, if it's completely bullshit to sight read, then I mean completely bullshit to read, then you know that can be talked about even if you like study it, right? An example like that would be here. This could really fuck up a player. But for me, this kind of comes down to personal preference again. Do you want to see your chart as an art form where you want the song to be fully emphasized at the sacrifice of playability, or the other way around? That's a hard question to answer. I think most people would generally say playability. It's almost like with Geometry Dash. Do you want like I will obviously say gameplay is more important than decoration. If the decoration, I mean, if the gameplay is dog shit, but the decoration is good, I don't want to fucking play it. But I think for Pump, it's a little bit different. I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, the problem is they had as well. Let me see. They didn't like the ending disk spike, and 219. Let me redo that. I don't know if it's here or if it was his video. He didn't provide a video, maybe because it was too big. So these are gallops. This is like a jumping motion. It's like These are not supposed to be twists. I don't know if he misread that or it's the timestamps. Oh, it's off from mine. But anyways, and then the ending. I'll show you what the first chorus looks like, and then the second chorus, and how I wanted to originally show that impact of the difficulty progression. Again, this sort of feels like skill zone because this is teaching you here. It's like a tap hold, like fun motion. I don't know how to describe it, right? And then teaches you brackets, all types of brackets, and continues the idea. And then at the ending, this is what it looks like. It gets much harder with 16th notes. This still has that same side-to-side motion with, like, in the beginning here. But now it's a lot more precise and a lot more emphasis on your hip movement and foot positioning. Same thing, though. I don't think he was talking about that here. Bum 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 bum. If you hear the drum or beats or bass, it's supposed to match that beat. Yeah, it is pretty complicated, but I think when I look at it's questionable because it is a lot harder than everything else. Maybe almost, it's not bad that's obviously more impactful at the end because a lot of, well, I mean, it's a fucking last chorus, especially of a full song, that you'd expect it to be hard, but this might be, this difficulty here up to here is okay. And then maybe at the very end, I got a little bit overboard. Yeah, this really focuses on foot position. I think an S17 player probably wouldn't be able to do this very well. But considering technically what I've taught you in the beginning, it's supposed to be harsh practice, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it is pretty damn hard, and maybe some rhythms can be simplified. I think it's fun as fuck, though. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it. And I also wanted to provide writing on the wall. So this is like my magnum opus of double charting. aka I only have like 10 double charts. Let me pull it up. Doubles is hard, man. I'm not really familiar with doubles charting. Alrighty, hopefully Jay's input about this could be useful because I went over his comments and I understand 2 of them, and the rest might be either timestamp differences or stuff that can't really be explained via text, or more conversational. Anyways, the problem with this chart is obviously this is like my second ever doubles chart basically, and it's obviously of a higher level, and I think the doubles requires more spatial awareness than singles, at least because I've only done it for so amounts. This chart teaches you how to play brackets. First chorus. Bum, 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 bum. This he was talking about. What's half? Half is the middle 6, right? We're here all the time, and then suddenly, you're expected to hit this. This at the end of the first like vocal segment of the verse. And what ends up happening is you have to like pivot your left foot to hit this note. And it's a little bit, yeah, he mentions that it is a pretty far reach and you're better off changing it to what it is. I don't know, he said something else, but I don't know how I would change this. So if you could actually help me provide a better pattern for it, that might be a not bad idea. I think it's okay. This pattern is okay, but it could be improved. The second part, like, this is fine. This, I do like this chart. He didn't mention anything about this, but like kind of showcasing. You see the background with the X and the whole idea. This is kind of building off that idea. If you haven't, it's like the first reference. You'll see it. You'll see it at the ending again. But anyways, it was here. He mentioned with his video timestamp, like apparently. So, someone tell me if I'm wrong. So your right foot's here. Your left foot's hitting all of these. Leave your left foot there in the red. Bum, bum, bum. So then your left foot's here, your right foot's here. And then you just using left, right. I can't visually see where someone might see this as like a foot switch. But someone, I would, you know, it'd be really insightful. Because the problem is I'm left-handed. So a lot of patterns I have are biased because I'm left-handed. So my left foot is my dominant foot. So this is left-right. I don't understand how someone could read this as a foot switch segment, but someone can correct me. So he talks about 147 here. So bum, 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 bum. So this pier I think was the main thing. Is also like kind of like the toe hold is like a big reach and it's like kind of far. I do agree, because when I played my chart like in the earlier patch, it's like, man, it's like you gotta really move your entire body. But this is pretty much the same as 47. Where's 47? So your heel is holding this thing, and so your left toes are hitting this and this, and also that's the same concept here. But I also agree, like these patterns are kind of mid. But I don't think that was the issue necessarily. It might have been a different criticism. It's just not very sight readable. I think. Wait, does this have a gimmick? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do to fix this part? Wait, this has no slowdown? Oh, I'm gonna make this like a 0.8 ratio. I'm noticing when I'm going back a lot of my charts, I don't have a lot of slow segments. You don't have to, but like a minor one could make such a big difference for sight readability. So I think what I'll do, this could be like 0. This is very slow, tame part of the song. This is building tension, but this can be like 0.9 ratio. So like, actually I'm gonna add it right now. For once, I'll actually do it right now. Let me show you how I add my gimmicks. Yogi. So then I'll do 0.9, 1, 2. Actually, I'm gonna do it here. 0.9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Delete this label. Okay. Every day we play this game of chance. You remember how I told you how I like my jacks with like emphasis on? I'll talk about it more in the future. This game of chance, whirling through a desperate dance, sketching visions in our heads, just to see them ripped to shreds. I'm gonna add like a bump. Just to see. Should I extend this? Hold up. Just to see them ripped. This is like kind of missing a little thing. Visually, it's not the most prettiest. Should I extend it? That's fine. No, I'm gonna keep it because I want you to have that feeling of like levitation. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Fucking English. Describe it. I like this whole. Build up. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna add a. I want to take some. Do I? Yeah, you can have like a little. I was gonna add something like this, but I don't want to remove the visual ratio I have here, so I'll probably do like a. What should I add? I haven't done scroll ones in a hot minute. But they kind of look like ass. I think maybe something like, I had him earlier. I still want to keep that slow ratio, but I don't want to look ass here.
Doesn't lead anywhere. Doesn't lead anywhere.
I think that's a little bit better.
This road that we share doesn't lead anywhere.
Actually, because so your left heel is hitting this. Your right, left, right, and then you're expected to move your left foot to hit this. It's kind of. I only know it because I fucking made the chart. But for a normal player, it might not be very intuitive. But that's why we have this ratio, so you can. It's more sight readable. I don't know if it's fast enough though. I'm gonna keep that. And then the final things are for the chorus, where his main thing was just like, you know, he prefers not having gimmicks. I know it's a UCS preference thing. I'm fine with it personally. I wanted to show the more, you know, emotional side. Maybe something like this is probably considered ass. I don't know. I like it. I want to make this more heavy impactful. Wait, check them on. This is 32, right? I made this for 32. And if it's a... So this is 5. 5, 7. Wait. That's a 7.5. I probably sound like making no sense right now. Hold up. I prefer that or the original. I'm gonna keep the original. I think this visually I agree with. I mean, idea 7.5 is actually better, but sight readability is not the best. And I know I kind of go back and forth with that, but I'm fine with that for that. And another criticism is this introduces rolling without any prior notice. I do agree with that. That's kind of, yeah, it's a little questionable. Again, this is my second fucking doubles charts. I'm not trying to say like as an excuse, but yeah, I should have introduced that earlier. It's more like I added this for the dramatic side because the ending was like obviously the more impactful part. But yeah, I could have found other ways to hint at it. Maybe where could I hint at it? You hear it's like da-da-da-da-da-da. You could have added it there, for example. Yeah, first verse compared to second verse is like a huge diff spike. So more a foresight would have been a better idea. It's okay. Wait, I just realized I didn't even include this. This should be. Should I just get rid of this? I'm gonna get rid of it. Because I should have had it here then. This is the same type of like part where it should have been here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's better about it. Bum. Drickum, this is a little too strong, maybe? I'm gonna reduce the ratio. It's too, the attack is too intense. Yeah, that's good. That's good. This ending is pretty intense, yeah. So, what I taught you was a little bit of rolling concept here. If you don't know what rolling is, it's a type of bracketing where you like, you know, you're supposed to roll your feet with your heel, toe, heel, toe. That's what rolling is. So, yeah, Jay was definitely talking about... I mean, I 100% agree. This part is definitely a jump scare. Because if you're like... If you're trying to hit this normally, it's like, oh crap, I'm supposed to... Am I supposed to full run this, or am I supposed to bracket this? You're supposed to bracket this, by the way. Bracket. 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 I actually can't even fucking read my own pattern, so... Should I fix it again? Oh no. Check him on. Chonin. Are these? No, these are 6 teams. Well, what's the idea here? Left, right, left, center, right, center. What was the original pattern like? I don't want to accidentally make a change that I feel like was not a good idea. So this is supposed to be just right side. It's like left, right, left, right. I can't read that pattern though. I kind of don't like that. I'd rather make it this like your red is up here. I'm gonna try readjust this again, even though it might make it worse in the long run, but I don't know. I feel like I'm never fully satisfied, but I'm slowly getting there. I've adjusted this ending like 20 billion fucking times at this point. Should I make it like this? Or should I make it the main emphasis on the yellow notes? Because if you're like standing here, your mass will be in the bottom middle sector here. This is also 205 BPM. But I want movements. It's kind of hard to make a pattern. That's not ass. Oh, but then that changes the ending. Fuck. I've adjusted this ending so many goddamn times. This is that. This is kind of like that. This dancing bot's too goofy, man. So I had this X pattern, like the cross matching the BGA. I might make it mirrored. Dude, that's such an ass pattern to hit. Wait, hold up. I'm not gonna work that. Wait, what? Wait, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did double ratio. I mean, I did double the amount of beats. You can foot switch this, by the way. I think. But the idea is you let go of one bar so you can hit it. Otherwise it feels pretty tight. That's not my problem though. Alrighty. The question is, do I keep this as a 22 or 21? I have that dilemma so much. This ending is a lot better now. Hopefully, I actually feel confident about this now. This matches this right, left, left. Come on, Andy. Okay. Alrighty, that's the pure review session done. It's been literally an hour. But who's gonna watch this? No idea. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to kind of go and fix some charts, and it was good to see some things. I don't even remember some of them now, but I'll try to go back. This one I'm not gonna change personally. This one I need to make the audio edits. Right? Audio edits. Audio jungle. Alrighty, that's pretty much it. I've been talking for too long. I'll double check.